Well, this is National Weather Service in Paducah, and I've got basically an overview of our severe weather season so far this year, which is off to a very busy start, as well as a quick look at what we can expect in the coming month or so. More specifically, we're going to look at a review of the winter and early spring severe weather. What are our total tornado numbers so far? How rare is this, and how does it compare with previous years? We'll also take a look at the upcoming spring outlook and whether or not we can tell anything about our severe storm activity in the coming month or so. Okay, by the numbers, since the start of the year, since January 1st, we've had a total of 20 tornadoes in the warning area covered by the National Weather Service in Paducah. About 5 of those have been EF0 weak tornadoes. The majority have been EF1 or EF2. And we've had one EF4 tornado, a violent tornado, which is fairly uncommon in our area to get those. But 20 tornadoes so far is an active start to our severe weather season. How rare are EF3 and 4 tornadoes in our area? Oh, well, looking back at the past 20 years, divided into 5-year periods, we had an active period there from 2002 to 2006 where we saw about a dozen EF3 tornadoes and 4 EF4 tornadoes. It's relatively quiet in 1997 to 01, and the past 10 years or so have not been especially noteworthy. We've had about a dozen EF3 tornadoes in 10 years and one EF4 tornado. That is until February 28th when we had the EF4 near Perryville, Missouri. Now looking back at a specific year to compare with, it looks like 2012 is actually very similar. During the period from January through March of 2012, there were actually a total of about 31 tornadoes, which is higher than what we've had so far this year. Both years had a total of 2 EF3 or 4 tornadoes. We had the EF4 Harrisburg tornado on almost the exact same anniversary as the Perryville tornado occurred this year. The Harrisburg tornado was on February 29th of 2012, whereas the Perryville EF4 was on the 28th of February. So looking ahead to the month of April, here is the temperature outlook released by the Climate Prediction Center on Friday. It's calling for basically a continuation of the above normal temperatures across much of the eastern and central U.S. that we've been experiencing over the past 6 to 12 months. As far as rainfall, there's really no clear signal as to whether we'll have above or below normal precipitation. I should mention, though, that our precipitation totals have not been much above or below normal so far this year. So just because we're forecasting near normal precipitation, that doesn't necessarily correlate to a lack of severe weather. So it does appear that we're not in for any cool patterns, at least no extended cool patterns, which usually are more stable and less favorable for severe storms. We're not expecting that. The precipitation outlook does not favor abnormally high or low storm activity. In 2012, we started off warm and stormy, similar to this year, but that year turned very dry. We had a severe drought in the spring and summer. Right now, there's no indication that'll happen this year. We're expecting near normal precipitation at this point. So to summarize, 2017 is off to an active start, somewhat similar to 2012. We did have a violent tornado in February, which is rare. We have an EF4 on average about once every 4 years in our area. That's based on the past 20 years worth of observations. And finally, as we head into our peak severe weather season, we don't see a sign of any major changes in the weather pattern. It looks like it will continue somewhat warmer than normal, and we're not expecting any major droughts or heavy precipitation patterns. Appreciate your time and attention. Uh, this has been a briefing from the National Weather Service in Paducah.